So the next project for the house is replacing the kids' coat rack. It's not bad. You would think 3 kids, 3 coat racks, or correction. You would think 3 kids, 3 hooks, no problem, right? Wrong. When you have piles and piles of little people coats everywhere, you need to hang them up. And when you do that, you start to run out of space after a while. So you get the idea, and there's more coats strung about the house. Anyways, so what we're going to do is, I've already figured out what the boss wants to have in place. We're going to take a something by something board. I have it just off camera for us to work with. And we'll have this taken care of. She is already going to repurpose this thing. It sports 3 hooks, 3 spots for pictures, all that jazz. And then we have this piece of wood stock that we're going to use. We're going to hang in an area such like this. What we'll do is we'll nip a little off, I think, like this. We will hang 6 hooks on it, and we're going to give it a routed edge, we're going to give it a stain, and then we're going to hang it back up. Should be good. Should be good. All right. So here we are in the garage again, switching over from metalworking or metalworking to woodworking. And you know, when it comes to tools, for the most part, if it works, it's good. That doesn't mean I don't acknowledge better tools will get the job done quicker, or a better tool will be better to work with. You get what I'm saying? What I will say is this. Sometimes something's better than nothing when it comes right down to it. If you have a lower end tool and you treat it the way you're supposed to treat it, it's going to do what it's supposed to do for you. You just can't beat the tar out of your stuff, you know? I always got a kick out of doing this stuff. It was always fun. Not necessarily half the time when I was learning how to do it, but getting finishing my thought, but getting everything taken care of. I'm gonna meander, and yeah, overkill, big time. Drywall, T-square. Want to put a nice straight edge on this. Can't find my smaller square. That'll probably be a trip to the local hardware store, Home Depot or Lowe's or whoever. I don't care. Whoever's got the sale, maybe. Isn't that fun? I do get a kick out of making these videos, or starting rather. This will be video number 2, dose. This is kind of fun, being able to do this. Right now, the little ones, they don't really, You'll find that I trail off a lot when I'm attempting to communicate, and that's simply due to I'm thinking, and or trying to think. I think I'm going to like this profile though. So that's going to give a nice cut. It's just on the big side for this board, but we're going to go all the way around. All the way around this bad boy, because I haven't set up a table router, and because my garage / shop is only so big, there's only so much I can do at a crack. That said, we'll get some wood clamps out. Let's set up our tool router, get that ready to go. I'll get this freeform communication chat idle banter thing down as well. It's gotta sound funny, or it probably will. Sometimes there's just not a lot to talk about either, which can be a blessing and a curse at the same time. Hey, you know, to each their own. Right. For future shots, I will get better close-ups on setting the depth on different things, but I'm a little bit, not of a pinch, I want to be able to create something and get it out there. And I want to see what that looks like. You know, a hurried video versus a short video, and yeah, people can say, well, obviously you know what it's going to be like, but I want to see, you know, this is me doing it, I want to try it. I know I'm going to have to reset at least 3 times, to reset my cut 3 times. However, if I do this on this angle, I'll be able to get 3 sides. Want something heavy on the table to counteract me being that far out. I'll put my box there. I got bored one day and made a box. That's okay. It works. It does what it's supposed to do. So, you got the box for a counterweight. Let's get that bad boy on there. Shouldn't need the face shield. Shouldn't be that bad. Just a lot of wood dust. There we have it. That is complete. No worse for the wear. Maybe a little dusty. That's nice. That'll do. So what do we have? Got the edge. Oh. Excuse me. So that gave us the profile. I like it. And now we're going to space out, I'll put stuff away, but we're going to space out 6 hooks across. So 2, 4, 6. That way little people can hang their coats on it. And we are going to leave this character notch in there. You'll have to excuse me. We're going to leave the character notch in the board because there was a knot that the router decided to follow, and I like that stuff. I like it. It gives a little je ne sais quoi, if you will. Alright, I'm going to do a quick cleanup. You don't need to see me doing that. And then we'll get ready to drill our holes for our closures or our hangers, and we'll not prep the wood, but get it ready for a stain as well. I'm not sure. I'm thinking something dark. Walnut, not too, well, it also depends on what we have as well. That said, chat soon. Okay, so we got some nice hooks. Spacers out, fill our holes, countersink. Lots of fun. So yeah. And we're also going to do a antique walnut. That should be nice. The style of hook we're going to use before all of that, need to get the edges cleaned off. Sorry. Need to get the edges cleaned off and knock down a layer off of it. And it's just, nothing fancy, just enough to do what we need to do here. Besides, I want to have a scratched look underneath the stain, and I'm not going to put a clear coat over the top either. The reason why is I want this to weather. I want this to age. I want to see it get older as time progresses. I want to see, I want to see the wear and tear that my kids put on it. I want to see that. Now, whether this is the distressed look or whatever, immaterial to me. The way I want to do it. I don't know if you can see. We get the light to shine off that. You get a nice little scratch. The grain's there a little bit. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the stain pops that grain out. It should look good. Alright, let's space out, figure this out. Get our spacing down, I should say. We have 27. I'm not a math genius. Four and a half. Give or take. Alright. I should ask. Hey, Sarah? Sarah? I got a question for you.
Okay, hang on.
And I get to hang on.
Let her know I do it. Up.
I can put hooks every 4.5 inches or so. Do you want me to have them low so we can put something up here, or just center them and call it good?
You know what? I was thinking about centering them, but I didn't think of the idea of putting it low to put something up here. What would you put up here? Like our name?
Whatever, if you wanted to, like little kids' coats, little kids, big kids' coats, something like that. I don't think there's enough room to put pictures on it, but stencils.
No.
No?
No.
Center? Center?
Yep.
Yes, boss.
And I found the perfect backpack area.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. It's going to go right across from the coat area.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then maybe, why do we have to leave out the garage door? Why can't we leave out the front door now?
Yeah.
It's so crowded in the kitchen anyway in the morning.
So I'm attempting to skirt a few issues here real quick.
You know what you can help me do? You want to help me put the Christmas decorations away?
And the design just changed. 3-3. 3 and 3, something in the center. Now what I could do is I could get the router out again and I could punch out or gouge out a square in the center. Well, realistically do whatever the devil I want. I don't know. This is starting to look good to me. Of course, you can just go like this as well. But that's why we have erasers and we can always redo. So that kind of holds true. And here's why it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Because I didn't figure for... I've got no problem. Got no problem to do this all day long. But what I didn't figure for was this 4.5 inches here. 4.5, that what? 4.5, 2.25. 2.25 pull and then start it. Yep, that's what I do. 2.25 in. Not sure. Can I get away with doing this? Cheating? No, I can't. Okay, I gotta find an eraser. We'll figure it out. Hey Sarah! Do we have any eraser? Can I get an eraser? Or do we have one? No?
Well, I can get one, but I want you to read this. So,
I don't know. This is starting to look good to me. Of course, you can just go like this as well. But that's why we have erasers and we can always redo. So that kind of holds true. Alright, I found the only eraser in the house. Apparently it's a little pumpkin eraser. Neat. What did I say that was? 2.25 out. Is this even going to work? Marginally, at best. Oh well. If it doesn't come off, it'll be character marks on it. So I can have fond memories of working on this in this shop. Yay. Or the garage, rather. Yay. So, let's see, let's do this again. So if I come that far in, I should have 4.5 all the way to the other end. Counting this one. Yeah. Right, yeah. Did that come out that time? Yeah, woohoo! Alright. Now, even better. Okay, so now I want to set these bad boys in place. You just get the holes done for the most part. You know, I'm not expecting to get everything perfect, and I might even do a forced, you know, whatever, if you will. Just to have some fun with it on the board. Because, you know, who likes everything, you know, straight all the time? And that's how we do that, huh? You like that? I mean, what I meant to say was, I made marks on both the top and the bottom of the tape so I could purposefully set these offset and have a reference line to work with. Right. Uh-huh. Okay, so what did Bob Ross say? Happy accidents? No mistakes. Happy accidents. Lots of fun. Okay, so here we have this bad boy. Oh, come on. Come on. For those of us playing the home game, Pete, let's do this. There it is. All right. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark all my holes, and I'm going to come back, drill all my holes, and I got a surprise coming up very shortly. So let's get this knocked out with. Let's get this knocked out. Ooh. And I don't think I said it in the last video. Well, maybe I touched on it in the last video. I come from a construction family where, if anybody asks, where did you learn how to do all this stuff? Begrudgingly, I was indentured servitude with my father at first. That happens. You know, you learn the family business, whether you want to or not. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just sizing up pilot holes. What I want to do is create a hole just a little bit smaller than the screw, and that allows the screw to travel in really well. So you got this going on. I'll be able to see this really well. And what I typically do, focus, is I try to match it up. I don't know if it's going to focus, but you can barely see the threads coming through. Gosh, I wish that would focus for us. Can I make that? I can. Ooh, that's nice. So, this is what I want to see. I want to see the threads just peeking out on the other side. Now I could go one step lower. Not sure if I want to do that, but this will work. The person might think, hey, can you feel that? How do you know you haven't gone through your table? You feel that initial punch through where the bit goes through. And you drill enough holes, you'll have a good understanding of what I'm talking about there. Or are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. So we've got our pilot holes done, we've got our router work done, we've distressed the wood, or we've made it look rough like we wanted it to. Next thing we want to do is kind of a toss-up. Let's either add our stain or mount our hardware. Which isn't to say that I'm going to mount the hardware, but there's a reason why I want to mount the hardware now. As you can tell, these screws just a little bit on the long side. And you can see it right there, nice and long. So I have a nifty little disc grinder that attaches on my drill. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to mount everything and I'm going to nip the ends off those screws so I can stain it and be done. I picked this little bad boy up at, I think it was Home Depot or something. Yay. I'm sure you can find these things online or at your local hardware store if you just ask your guy to get it for you, or whatever the case may be, but there you have it. Quick in, quick out. So let's mount these bad boys real quick, get that done with. Then we can get it stained and I can put a fan on it, have it dry, or hopefully, because I want to get this done tonight. It's going to be a little bit of a tight fit, that's okay. And to all my friends who like the tongue-in-cheek jokes, feel free to put those in the comments if you like. Mind the finish. Oh man, this is fun. Oh shoot. Oops. There we go. And for anyone that might be impatient, this is where the endurance training really pays off. To be able to sit and look right now, my video software does not have the time lapse feature, And I'll be getting a little package that has that soon enough. Not too worried about it. And as everyone expected, a surprise witness. Looks like we got some nubs to take off here. That's fine. Quick switch out. Well, that's not good. Ah. I want to... Yeah, I like that. Pretty nifty woodworking channels that you'll see the guys and the gals have their myriad of wood clamps, and sometimes, I'll be honest, I get a little wood clamp envy, but you know, it happens to the best of us. Tools are tools. I love doing sparks and woodworking. It's a lot of fun. So why I came back over, oop, I hit that one here. Okay, so that takes care of that. Really? Wow. Take it apart, put it together, take it apart, put it together. Come on, man. Stay with me. And it's the back side of the piece, so I don't care how ugly it gets. But now we have little nips. Screws have now been cut. That gouged a little bit. That's okay, but this side still looks pretty. So we have the off-center thing. Ooh, it's gonna look good. And we gotta pull this all apart. Dust off everything. Then we come back. Ja. Und we apply the stain. Alright. Oops, I'm gonna need that. There. Yeah. This is what I'm doing. Make sure to pick up all those little pieces. I don't need little feet stepping on screw bits and bobs. 'Cause I'd be the one digging them out of their feet too. Alright, what do I need? Next step. Hit it one more time with the sand block. Then we apply our stain. Now stain can be put on a couple different ways. You can just dump it on it and go. You can take a brush and go. You can take a sponge brush and go. You can take a rag and go. I've always liked the rag approach because that's the first way I learned how to do it. If it's a piece for a client, it's one thing. You look at it a whole different way. If it's a piece for yourself, you're always going to see the flaws in it. So just forget it. You're always going to see the flaws. You can try to be a perfectionist if you want. Welcome to lunacy. There's a GE statement. Good enough. At some point, you just have to tell yourself, "This is it. That's it. Done." And you figure that out for yourself. Right? It's your piece. It's your little world. Thank you, Mr. Ross. I like that. I'm going to leave that alone. That's it. Okay, now I got to stand it off of my deck or my table, and I need something to do that because I also have to get the edges. So what do I have? I have bits and bobs of this, that, and the other thing. That'll work. If you've seen my previous video, you noticed that I did, or you've seen that I did do a fire pit. We have since done a fire pit It looks reasonably well. To me, it's the proof of concept that we have in place right now. The better half seems to think otherwise. She thinks it's done. Got brick around it. It looks good, you know. The fire stays inside the ring. That's the important part I found. As long as that happens, I think pretty much everything's a win. Again, we're going to use the rag technique, which is slap and go. Call it good. After the rag, we're going to put a fan on it so I can get this dry, put it together, then hang it. I'll stop. Wait a minute. That's funny. Okay. I'm going to anchor this straight to the wall. That's it. I'm just anchoring it right to the wall. I'm going to put 4. I'm not going to do the hangers. I'm not going to do that fiddling around. Inch in, inch in. Inch and a half in, inch and a half in. What the hell? I need a ruler. Just a simple ruler. Just 12 inches. So I'm thinking, do I want it to be an inch in? Stress, stress. Or if I bring it in more, then that's more material for it to fight against from people tugging on it left and right, pulling their coats off. You know, it's going to be an inch and a half. An inch and a half by what? What? Inch and a half by... inch and a half by inch and a half. Use light pencil marks so they can erase easy. Haha, that's thinking with kerosene. And then what screw am I going to use? What screw am I going to use? Get the bucket o' screws. Something black because it's going to be recessed. And I need to go through and I need to penetrate into a wall. 2 inches, 2.5, gray, I don't know. At this point, having a pair of gloves on would be nice. Then you can really dig into a bucket of screws. Might have to go get the box. I'm in the box. I don't have black screws. Okay. this will be fun. Okay. Halfway. Use a little bit more. Does it matter? Haha. I'll countersink them further. There we go. That answers that question. And then I can use drywall anchors, put them in the wall, and if I hit a stud, so much the better. I'll use a very small bit in the beginning. In the beginning, he used a small bit. This is way too much fun. Sizing. Looks like 330 seconds all the way through. Then I don't have a countersink, but we know a trick to get us beyond that. It works even better if you have the drill set to go the right direction. So now what I like to do is I'm going to need to bury this in the board so I can have penetration through the board. I can have more penetration through the board and get more sticking down below. If I leave it on the surface, if I just let it go through the surface, so we'll just say boom and it sticks to the surface, there's only going to be that much penetrating through the wall. Whereas if I countersink and drill out the hole so the head can sink through about a quarter of the way, then I'll have more into the wall, into the sheetrock anchor. Sorry, I can't hang on to that in a better way and show you that. But you get the idea. So that's what we're doing. Now in this case, I do want to have something that's just a little bit bigger than the head of my screw. And we have a winner. That would be the 5/16. So, next thing we need to do is need to figure out how much through the board we need to go. And I need to mark this so I don't go too crazy. Wow. Basically, I just need to get through this board. What is that, 2/8? No. 3/8? Maybe. But what we're going to do, so I don't have to really pain myself, I'm going to find my tape, measure up the bit, X amount of distance, put a piece of tape over that, so I know when I go in, I can go beep, beep, and then get it done with. Now it's time to find the tape. Oh, found the tape. That's nice. No, I might get, if I'm lucky enough, at first, I might get comments from the channel, the board, about the way I do things, eyeballing it, making sure it kind of fits. But here, I'll show you guys what I mean. So my bit's got to go through the board like such. But I can't go all the way through because remember, I want to be able to make sure that my screw sinks into the board X like that. So there I'll place a piece of tape and that'll get my countersink the way I need to go. Well, how are you going to do that? I basically want to do this. I want to countersink it the width of a screw down, so I just need to use this distance, maybe a little bit more, to go down, and we'll be good. And we'll get that set up. I'll be back. All right. Let's get these countersink. That was relatively painless. Okay. Stain time. That's almost a little OCD on my part. Trying to get stuff put away. For now. Basically, after the stain gets applied, I'm going to have to just wait it out. Can't say I appreciate that or I like that, but such is life, right? Ooh. I think if I put on enough right off the bat, it'll be good. Some people might want to do or think, well, you should be wearing gloves, you should be doing this, that, and the other thing. I don't think they're wrong. I don't think they're wrong at all. I don't want to. As silly as that sounds. Oh, I like the way that's starting to look. Ooh, it is a little sexy. Huh. Just slap it around. Look at that grain pop. Look at that. Woo. Oh, I love that. That is, the distress is coming out. I might have to grab the camera and show you guys this. That is effing awesome. I really like the way this piece is turning out. When you get into these corners, sometimes you gotta really push your rag into it. You know, a person might say, well, if you had a brush, you could just work the stain into it. Yep, you're right. I like using a rag. Oh my, that is looking fantastic. I'll be honest, I would have liked to have gone and done this with a spray, but I couldn't find a spray can. And I'm glad I wasn't able to find a spray can. I really am. know, guys, I may end up doing a second coat on this bad boy. It is really looking good. I just might want to make it a shade darker. It's like, wow. Whoops. Now, I have to say this. I have to thank my dear old mumsy for showing me, or guiding me, however you want to look at it, on staining. Look at the way the grain on the end grabs that stain. And over here, it's not the end grain, so it's not, the pores aren't opening, you know. The end of the wood is not opening. So this would be one end of the log, other end of the log. Here, not an end of the log. But, that is, look, just fantastic. What's another? Oh yeah, you could do this. You should do this in a well-ventilated area. Yada yada, so on and so forth. It's not a bad idea. This is a reasonably well-ventilated area. It's the garage for the scope and size of the project that I'm working on. So we're pretty much dry. I like the way it looks. I really don't want to add anything to it. I've got what I like to call the coat I was going after. I'll pull the camera off the stand and try to get a close-up so you can see the scratches that were left in, and how the stain took to some of them, how the stain left a little bit of one, or how it took to some of the scratches and how it didn't take to other ones, but you can still see it because they're still light on the wood. Yeah, I'll do that right now. So here you can see where some of the scratches are and how that goes, and how sometimes it's there and it's not. Here's some more of the scratches. And this was the finish I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Done. Now we're gonna put the hangers back on, or put the hangers on, and then get the wall prepped for adding this to the wall. And I better just take it easy a little bit. Getting a little ahead of myself. I should wait for this to dry completely before I do anything mounting it on the wall, and I think I will. It's a day wait for me. For you guys in YouTube land, it's just, well, the next scene. That said, let's get these hangers on and just take it from there. is. You know, it does look pretty kick-ass. Still tacky. Yep. Alright. And I'm not going to even try to put it mounted on the wall as it stands right now. Reason being is because when I mount this to the wall, what I will end up doing is drilling a pilot hole, putting it against the wall, like such, and then drilling pilot holes with an 1/8 inch bit into the sheetrock so I know exactly where it's going to go. From there, then I'll put sheetrock anchors in those particular spots. And then, once the anchors are in place, then we'll just do what? Then we'll hang it up and then have the kids hang up their coats. So, we're going to stop now and let this dry. Well, it's the next day, and we have a finished dry piece. Looks exactly the way I wanted it to look. There, you get to see the scratches from the sanding block. One coat was just what I was looking for. Alright, let's get the tools out, and that's okay. Reverse side, just in case. What does the other side look like? You'll see the brown drips. That's the varnish coming through the holes, following the holes down. That's fine. But let's do this. Let's get our tools out. Let's get our sight set and get this mounted. We're gonna need, what do we need? We're gonna need drill bits, wall mounts, common sense, and a little patience. All right. Alright, here we go. Here's where the old one was. And good morning, by the way. Anyway, here's where the old coat rack was for the kids. And here's our new coat rack ready to go. So I think we're going to put this bad boy right about here. It's about their height right now, which is fine. And that's another fun thing that I just wanted to bring up to everybody was, you know, this might not look the best in your house, or you might not even like the way this looks at your place. But the idea is, it's it's not your place. It's Sarah's place and my place, and we like doing these little character things. We like adding this, a little touch of this, a little touch of that to our house, and I want to put this stuff together to give you an idea of something that you could do for your place. You know, all it takes is time, as you guys have seen on previous video of mine. It just takes time to do this. Tools, all that jazz, that comes later. And that bit is really in there. Wow. It's kind of frustrating. The thumping camera's probably picking up are the kids running around. They've been forced into exile while I finish this off. Kind of a little joke. Haha. So I'm following my marks that I previously made to assume a level or all I want to do is put in the marks or put a spot on the wall. It looks like I'm already off a little bit. I don't like it when that happens. Alright. The LCD gets you. That'll be good. Now we have our references. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're going to go with the gray ones. Bury those in the wall. Here and here I hit a stud. That's awesome. Here and here, no studs. Must continue with the sheetrock anchors. So there's that. Now I have to go grab those screws, because I forgot them on the dining room table. Be right back. All I really need to do is just start it so the screw pokes through. Then match it up to its hole. Ah, shoot. I don't want to sink it all the way just yet. That one missed. didn't bite down. I might have to grab a longer screw for that. That's okay. Those anchors are not liking this. Not one bit. I think my drywall screws that I'm trying to use here are not biting in as much as I would like them to. So we gotta back it out and start over. Otherwise, just have the same thing happen all over again. You know, that's how we do. That's how we learn. When I sunk the screw on this side, those guys, yeah, they came out a little bit. And the idea behind this is you make a hole in the wall, you shove this guy, or I don't know, the anchor, you shove the anchor, and then when you put a screw in, the screw forces the anchor to separate and binds against the drywall. And as long as it doesn't bind too hard, it won't crack or blow it out. But in this case, I'm going to have to use, on this side, I'm going to have to use these screws that came with it. Which is fine, you know, a little bit thicker.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi.
Oh, you're going? Okay. Bye. She's what? Okay. So we're gonna start this all over again. And then as I'm looking at the wall, making these adjustments, I'm noticing that my wall... Guys! Hey! Knock it off, people.
Oh, Lucas gonna steal my brush.
Well, go upstairs and settle it.
Come on.
Mom's not here. Go upstairs. Thank you.
Daddy,
Hi.
what are you going to do?
What does it look like? I'm hanging up a coat rack.
What's a coat rack?
It's a coat rack.
Ooh.
Alright, you two. Scoot. Skedaddle.
Skedaddle.
Okay. So here, I want these to hold tight, so I'm not going to sink this. I'll sink this. It just bit. I'm going to leave it right like that. It's good. I'm going to go grab a long screw real quick, pause the tape. I'll be right back. So I found a 3-inch screw. We're going to try and hit a stud. I know it's back there. There it is. That's a little wobbly. It's not going anywhere. Alright. Pretty neat. So the next thing I'm going to do is clean up, do some cleanup real quick. But as we can see, alright. skeletal coats. I should make them come down here and do it. There's always another coat somewhere. Seriously, guys. Thought this was North Carolina. I don't have to have the winter parkas out anymore. All right. There you have it. All the coats hung up. So, okay, we'll clean up and we'll be done. Yeah, if you need something to do, you can always find something to do. That's not a problem. The problem is motivating yourself to just go and do it and just try. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to learn something, and that's the nice thing too about doing little home projects like this. You just go and try and do, and hey, if you don't know, you can always do the easy way or the harder way or whatever the case may be. You can always look up a how-to on Google, see if there's some good documentation or some good videos that are out there. Go to your library, see what's going on, see if you can find any books there, stuff like that. But beyond that, we'll see you next video, and have fun.